come to talk, to have a word, if you will, to see what, if anything, you are willing to spill. Truth be told, I do not understand this role to which you lend your hand. I had a dream. In it, I saw that we're doomed. Sure enough, when I woke, there it loomed. On the horizon, a truth concealed by the light, out of reach like some torturous slight. I think you have answers. While the world sits in stasis, painfully mute, I started to think that something doesn't compute. People used to riot. Now, not a sound in the sky. Everywhere is quiet and everyone is shy. Numbed and wounded, we've come to a halt. Unsure who to blame and unsure who to fault. So I've come to ask, can this truly be our end? Or is there still a way to make fate our friend?
Are you talking to me? I'm inclined to ask why. What is it you expect from my humble reply? I'm a watcher, a waiter, a common denominator. Everyone comes to me sooner or later. You speak of a quiet, of an endless solitude, wondering what becomes of your precious multitude. Yet you mistake them as hushed and muted. No, these observations must be refuted. Silence doesn't equate to an absence of voice. Quite the contrary. It means you have made your choice. You come to talk, you say, of the truth hidden by the beaming ray. That bright lure to which you are all drawn will only drain you and leave you forlorn. Unlike the petal of a delicate flower, you were never meant to absorb its power. But from afar you still feel its might, issuing a warning about your final plight. So, shall we discuss sunny smiles and luminous laughs? Or would you rather talk of graves and epitaphs?
I've no desire to get caught in its orbit. I'm not Icarus, I just want to know if our lives are forfeit. And if that is the case, then tell me how long. How much time do we have left singing this song? If we watch the needle as that clock goes round, the sun comes up but darkness stays crowned.
Time, 'tis a funny thing. Too often you imprison it in a device, but wasting so much of it is your ultimate price. Like love, time is absent form, yet you make your lives depend on it like it is the norm. What was, what is, and what will be, all just branches growing from one tree. Past and future are always present, hinting at what will soon be evanescent. Yet you lament that which you cannot foretell, anxious about the chiming of your death bell. From the second you are born, let us not pretend that you are doing anything but nearing your end. I do not come for you when your time is done. Quite simply, when your race is run. These constructs you have to make sense of your world really do nothing but keep your sails furled. Adrift, absent a course. Can you really wonder why you move nowhere with force? These inventions reek of base needs to make you plant order instead of seeds.
We feel in control when we quantify and measure. Imposing structures creates an illusion of pleasure. For if life were simply allowed to unfold, who knows what would happen without our preordained mold? There's a reassurance in human creations, knowing it comes from our own foundations. The needle on a clock, the lines on a map. You imagine them to be this ill-fated trap. But in truth we feel like we need them on show, to make sense of our lives in objects we know.
Ah yes, safe and secure inside the parameters of your frame. Civilization was at its name. Those mind-mustered manacles you slap on your wrists, branded heretics should you even try to resist. Harmony is an alien word, and to describe humanity is not often heard. Thankfully, your lives are not infinite, though not for lack of trying, it seems. You are such advocates for authority and order, but are willing to transgress the natural border, stretching life to a painful extreme, then banish it to care homes when it starts ripping at the seam. Your elders and ancestors so easily brushed aside, exiled to a cemetery for those who haven't died. In the name of science you push for more, hoping that one day you'll break down my door. Make no mistake, death is your final word. Despite your best efforts, it will not be deferred. I do not know what you expect me to say, for I am death. I do not want you to stay. You butcher every species on this planet you overpopulate, but when you kill each other, that's an act you can't accommodate. You endeavor to see your human life as equal. Well, what of the other species for which there will be no sequel? Branding yourselves as intelligent life, you dare blaspheme that you cause anything but strife. This world in which you are only a part, you treat as if you are its irreplaceable heart, destined to rule, to innovate and inspire. The truth is, your fate is only to expire. So why do you whine when your due date is near? If it were up to me, it would already be here.
And what of the generations to come? Can they make sense of this unsolvable sum? Is there hope in the newborn offspring? Or are they just kept under the shade of our wing? Can a child break free from a parent's grip? Or are they just tools that we equip? We all want to live in a blissful state, but our children won't inherit a clean plate. I do not approve of what I exist inside, but after all, where else can I reside? Outlawed from Eden, we've made this our garden, but neglected and usurped, I now ask for your pardon. Loosen your grip on this vast wasteland, for it will not be better when it's left unmanned. Let us, the cause of this error, make amends and disperse the terror. You've released a virus in the air, plunging humanity into chaos and despair. Shelves are left empty and vacant, people's self-interest is painfully blatant. Houses have become shelters and shells, love no longer chimes to the sound of church bells. Cautious and ever eager to retreat, now people hurry to cross the street. Smiles are hidden, imprisoned behind masks, while the virus roams free in liberty basks. Is there not a saying that night is darkest before the dawn? Well, with that sunrise, let us be reborn. Tame this plague that haunts our streets, that with merciless intent feeds off everyone it meets. I'm here to beg for one last chance, that we might find our footing and master this dance. You think I am the horseman who cast down this pestilence, unwilling to accept that maybe it's your own negligence? You see my heart as black as coal. Oh, you poor misguided soul. You are not cursed when I wave my wand, yet you are willing to point fingers at me just as we start to bond. I perform my role with a dutiful indifference, collecting each of you for your own deliverance. I am a bystander on the periphery, unable to act with my own artillery. My curse is that I am a spectator in this game, helpless to intervene like some medieval dame. You want the reason your virus doesn't discriminate? Well, look in a mirror, you'll find it's innate. The reason it infects and contaminates you all is because you are too easy to keep in thrall. These masks that you see as a muzzle are only part of a larger puzzle. They're everywhere, these elusive veils, worn to translate your meaningless wails. Your worth is now dictated by digital mediums, likes and followers and endless tediums. Needing constant validation is your precious humanity. Have you ever wondered, I ask, why it rhymes with vanity? For those instruments that you see as a balm are actually those you use to self-harm, much like the tools you use to maintain peace. Bang bang,
Wars prevented by this cathartic release. Need I go on about your endless hypocrisy? Your transient flesh will rot and decay. Only then might your souls flutter away. Everything must have an end. Life is not meant for you or I to bend. Be it an ant, a tree, this very sphere, the final chapter is nothing one should fear. I would urge you to turn to the middle of your book. Scrutinize those pages, give them a look. Ensure the heart that in you takes a seat is not depriving others of a gentle beat. For I will always balance the scale. You are no more important than a blade of grass in this tale. So when you look to that horizon, broaden your gaze. Do not think of it as an impenetrable haze. Perhaps the reason you cannot reach that truth is because you are not qualified to be its sleuth. The clues you need lie closer to home. Look inwards next time you rummage and roam. For the greatest mysteries often never get solved, because to reveal them would mean getting absolved. A prospect that makes even the bravest tremble, forgetting that to rebuild one must first dissemble. Make your kingdoms not with walls but with conscience. Live in want, not in abundance. For a thing that does not help the world go round will play notes that conjure neither beauty nor sound. Just like to end one must first begin, so to improve you must confront your sin. Come face to face with your own desire. Think, does it douse or endorse the fire? Now that is all I shall speak. Go harass some other with your eager beak. For the next time we meet, your conclusion will be nigh. And then I shall take you without the faintest sigh.
One last thing before you go. Will you add just one more string to my bow? If we all just